Good morning, Grizzlies fans. Welcome to another Grizz Game Day update. The Grizzlies will take on the Chicago Bulls this afternoon. It is a very early game, 2:30 Central Time tip. Amin joins me once again to talk about the Bulls. How are you this morning?
Good to see you, my friend. Doing good.
Good. Okay, I'm going to dive in. The Grizzlies have won 8 of their last 9. The Bulls are 8-4 in their last 12, coming off a massive win against Charlotte. These are two very hot teams right now. The Bulls are 10th in the East. They're one game behind Toronto and Atlanta. The Grizzlies are in second on the West. Does this mean something more for the Bulls as we get closer to the end of the season?
I think so. There is a very slight chance the Bulls could actually clinch a spot in the play-in tournament today. They would have to win, and they would need all 3 teams that are currently trailing them to lose today. That'd be Washington, Indiana, and Orlando. So there's an opportunity to at least clinch a play-in spot. It's a very underwhelming season overall, I would say, based on what happened last year, what the expectations were going into this season. This is a team that, as you guys saw in February in Memphis, that they can play well in spurts and have played well for stretches of time this year, but have had trouble for long periods sustaining full 48-minute games. And you guys saw that in the fourth quarter the last time these two teams met. But lately, as you said, 8-4 in their last 12. Pat Beverly has been an irritant to a lot of teams in the West, as you know, and he's made a significant impact on this team's not only defense. They've been one of the best defensive teams in the NBA most of the season, and then certainly with Patrick Beverly since the All-Star break. But the attitude, I would say the intensity level is a little bit higher with a player like Beverly. He's the classic hate him if he's not on your team, love him if he is on your team.
Look, the Grizzlies fans know Pat Bev well, and I think
it's gonna say,
like, hate him, but like respect the.
Yeah, there's an internal respect. There's an inherent respect because of the competitor that he is, and I do think he's made an impact on not only what the defense has done, but on what a player like Zach LaVine has done. You know, he's been really hot in the month of March. The Bulls went 9-6 in March. He was a big reason why. He was much more aggressive. He was much more efficient. His shot selection was much, much better. So those are some of the improvements that the Bulls have made since they last saw the Grizzlies. Since the All-Star break, they played better. And this isn't every game is important right now for the Bulls. They still have an outside shot of sneaking into the 7-8 game right now. But obviously, just trying to get into the 9-10 game would be an accomplishment for the time being.
So the last time that you were here, it was February 7th, like you mentioned, the game in Memphis. And one of the big things that you said, and obviously this was before Pat Bev was on the teams, before All-Star break, was that the team was still trying to like find their identity, find their like roles. Obviously Pat Bev helps that. Hate him or love him. I know Memphis fans are torn on that, but like he's good at that and he knows his role and he's a great role guy.
Yep.
Do you think that's kind of come together? Because you were talking early February that was like kind of coming together now, and they're hot now. Like I know they're 10, so it seems silly to say that, but like this team is winning now. Like they're playing good basketball.
I think there's a little bit more of a defined identity for them offensively. I think a lot of it has to do with what we mentioned with Zach LaVine. Patrick Beverly, when he first got signed, literally within a day of getting signed in Chicago, basically was like, I'm going to tell Zach LaVine that his job is not to pass. His job is to attack and quote unquote destroy people. So to Zach's credit, to Pat's credit, we've seen that kind of play out over the last month plus. And I think that's a little bit more the identity. This team is at its best, like many teams in the NBA, when they're sharing the basketball. Talent alone, individual talent alone, should get guys like DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic. They should score 20 points a night each on a frequent basis. And they've done that on a decent basis over the course of the year. All 3 of them, they've been a really good trio. But a lot of that comes from the things that make really good NBA teams, ball movement, player movement. When this team doesn't get stagnant offensively, it's typically because they're moving without the ball, finding open guys. Guys have to make shots for sure. Secondary and supplemental players have to make some shots. But I think when Zach LaVine is attacking, when DeMar DeRozan is operating within the flow of the offense, and when they get Nikola Vucevic established in the post, I think all 3 of those things are essential, not just key, but almost requirements for this team to be as efficient offensively as they have been on a much more frequent basis lately.
And I think the same thing goes for the Grizzlies with John Morant, Desmond Bane shooting well from the 3, and then getting Jaren involved in the offense. I think one of the most important things you talked about though was the defense. Last time these two teams played, a very low scoring game, 104-89. Defensive rating, the Grizzlies are second, the Bulls are 6th, and I think even in March the Bulls are higher than 6, like for the month. Is this just going to be another low scoring game because these guys are all really good at defense?
That's the hope. I think the Bulls kind of need it to be a low scoring game. You know, you guys see it on a nightly basis when the Grizzlies are rolling. It's typically points up turnovers. It's points in transition. They go downhill. They take advantage of your mistakes. They pace you up because of the athleticism that all these guys have, and if Bane's shooting well from 3 in transition.
And Luke, you guys didn't have Luke last time.
That's right, and that's a big change. You know, the Bulls have had a major problem. As good as they've been defensively, and they have been very good, their biggest issue is giving up too many uncontested 3-point looks. That's been a major problem for them. So when you see a player like Luke Kennard, who's hasn't had like huge games against the Bulls in his career, but is just such a threat. I mean, he's making almost half his 3-pointers this season between LA and Memphis. He's such a solid catch and shoot guy. Between him and Zach LaVine, you got 2 of the best catch and shoot 3-point guys in the NBA right now. So I think assignment integrity is incredibly important. Understanding what the second unit rotations look like and who you have to key in on. You know, it's easy to say when the Memphis starters are out there, well, you got to stop John Morant, you got to stop Bane, you can't let Jackson get interior position. That's the baseline of scouting reports. But when those second unit guys come in, they do such a good job of pacing you up. I think the Bulls have to be very, very sharp on assignments in this game, especially with a guy like Kennard, who, like you said, they didn't see the first time these two teams met.
Okay, talking assignments, here's my last question for you. This will be short and sweet. One matchup, like one actual one-on-one matchup that you're excited to watch today.
It's Jackson and Vucevic. I think he's Defensive Player of the Year. Jaren Jackson, what a fabulous season he's had. And not only that, but when Ja was out recently, I thought Jaren played at an all NBA caliber level. He was excellent in some of those key wins that the Grizzlies had when Morant was out. And I think his confidence level is exceptionally high on offense now. And we know what type of defender he is. Vucevic has played very well in the post lately. He's got great footwork. He's really a super intelligent post player, and he's a great distributor out of that area. But Jackson is a complete deterrent. He is such a factor in, if not blocking a shot, which he's done, 180 times this year. If he's not blocking it, he's deterring it, and he's affecting you on offense. So I think that matchup is incredibly, incredibly important today.
Yeah, and that one to just add on to it, Vucevic had 28 and 17 the last time he played the Grizzlies. So like those numbers are there. I'm gonna pick Pat Bev versus anyone he plays against the Grizzlies. That's like a spicy little beef. So we love
sure.
Yeah, we get to see. I mean, I don't think Dylan and Pat Bev will actually guard each other, but like there'll be some trash talking. So
I imagine that will be the secondary matchup that we'll have an eye on tonight. Yeah. Who's going to win I don't know how to score it. I don't know if you just have judges cards and you put up a 10 or whatever for trash talk level, but I'm excited to hear it.
You're going to have to do that on the
I think so.
Okay.
You guys text me what you think in terms of point totals. We'll just give them out on air at that point. That's a 9. That's 9 level trash talking. That's 8 level trash talking.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'll get those ready for you. Adam, thank you. Thank you so very much. Have a good game. Grizzlies fans, like I said, this one's at 2:30. So it's 11:11 right now. Make a wish. 2:30. Get ready. It's on Bally Sports Southeast.